Welcome to a world where real-life stories unravel the intricate tapestry of the human experience. These narratives are more than just tales. They are profound glimpses into the complexities of existence. We hope that our collection of stories grants you profound insights, ignites inspiration, and fosters a renewed appreciation for the indomitable power of human resilience. Today, let me introduce you to Bubba, a man who inadvertently stumbled into an extraordinary love story. Buckle up, grab your favorite drink, and let's embark on a journey into Bubba's world. A world where an ordinary brown shipping box, a seemingly innocent packing slip, and a humble kitchen faucet would become the gateway to an unforgettable discovery. Life at that moment was magnificent. Bubba's love for his wife, Holly, was unparalleled, and they shared an unmatched passion in their marriage. Their lives were filled with warmth, laughter, and cherished moments spent with loved ones. But this story isn't just about a love story. It's about the enigmatic connection between a mother and her son. Let me introduce you to Stanley Oliver Smith, though most know him as Bubba. His peculiar nickname stemmed from a childhood mix-up when his sister, Karen, couldn't quite pronounce brother, and he came out as Bubba. Fate brought Bubba and Holly together in September 2002 during the SAU fall migration. It was a serendipitous meeting that would alter the course of their lives forever. Holly, a native of Charleston, South Carolina, had moved to Columbia after her college graduation. She was armed with a marketing degree from the College of Charleston and worked for a local insurance company. Bubba's best friend, Ralph, or RJ, was an integral part of this tale. He and Bubba had been inseparable since second grade, both having graduated from the University of South Carolina and working as sales representatives for the same company. This small world was filled with connections and relationships, setting the stage for a captivating story. Now, fasten your seatbelts as we journey through the seasons and explore the deep connection between Bubba, Holly, and their families. They found themselves in a charming condominium just a stone's throw away from the beach, a place where they shared special moments with their parents. Bubba's dedication to fitness was a part of his daily routine, which included rigorous morning workouts and basketball games on Mondays and Wednesdays. This regimented life allowed him to maintain his impressive physique. Holly, too, valued physical fitness, albeit in her own way, choosing afternoon workouts over pre-dawn exercises. As the story unfolds, a simple conversation between Bubba and Holly about an upcoming trip to Cancun reveals the delightful anticipation of their third wedding anniversary celebration. But there's a hidden mystery that will soon take center stage. The story takes an intriguing turn as we delve into a seemingly ordinary evening. Preparations for the trip begin, including taking out the trash, a task that falls on Bubba's shoulders. Yet this chore is destined to uncover something unusual. Stay tuned for the next chapter, where Bubba stumbles upon a plain brown shipping box with Holly's maiden name on it and an unusual packing slip. What lies within the box? Why is it addressed to her office and not their home? These questions will ignite a cascade of events that lead to an unexpected revelation. Our adventure in Cancun continued, where the golden sands met the crystal-clear waves. Holly's office was a distant thought as we reveled in the tropical paradise. Our plane was punctual, and by 4:00 p.m., we found ourselves sprawled on the sun-kissed beach, the allure of the azure waters beckoning us. The evening brought with it the promise of delectable dining in one of the hotel's charming restaurants. The night was still young, so we waltzed to the rhythm of the night, losing ourselves in the enchanting dance, and the clock struck 2:00 a.m. With great anticipation, I waited a sneak peek at Holly's new lingerie. As she retreated to the bathroom, I reclined on the bed, butterflies fluttering in my stomach. The room was filled with an electric excitement. But my world was about to be turned upside down, for when she emerged, I found myself staring at something entirely unexpected. A large white t-shirt adorned with two flamboyant pink flamingos. The quizzical expression on my face didn't go unnoticed by Holly, who inquired about my well-being. In response, I expressed my bewilderment. "Bubba, are you all right? You're not falling ill during our vacation, are you?" No, I replied, still in a state of shock. I was just anticipating something different. Let's say, not a pink flamingo shirt. Why wear anything else? Holly replied. When I know you'll undress me within 30 seconds. I couldn't deny the truth in her words, and with the lights dimmed, our night took an intimate turn. The next morning, as I brewed coffee and enjoyed the tranquil morning on the balcony, my mind couldn't help but drift back to the mysterious package Holly had received from Trashy Lingerie. The packing slip and its unfulfilled promises danced in my mind. Little did I know that this mystery would soon become an obsession. Holly joined me, and our day was filled with adventure, including snorkeling along the mesmerizing Tar Reef. As we explored the vibrant marine world beneath the waves, the mysteries of that elusive package faded into the background. The following day, we shifted our focus to shopping in the bustling markets, where I purchased a necklace for Holly and a chess set for myself. The night held a promise of celebration, as it marked our wedding anniversary and our last night in Cancun. Our evening was filled with tender moments, hand in hand, as we strolled along the moonlit beach, sharing our dreams of a family. We agreed that Holly would stop taking her birth control pills in January, a significant step toward a shared future. Returning to our hotel room, Holly's excitement was palpable as she mentioned that she had a special surprise for me. It was then that the echoes of the packing slip resurfaced. I couldn't wait to see Holly adorned in her new attire. With great enthusiasm, Holly handed me an envelope and urged me to open it. She couldn't contain her delight, and her anticipation was infectious. I had never seen her so thrilled about a gift before, which piqued my curiosity. But before I opened my gift, Holly encouraged me to open hers first. She was eager to see my reaction, saying, "I've known Holly for 4 years, and I've never seen her like this." The note inside the card revealed that we had 2 tickets to the NASCAR night race at Bristol Motor Speedway in Tennessee. This was no ordinary gift. Acquiring tickets for the Bristol night race was nothing short of miraculous. Overwhelmed with gratitude, I asked Holly how she managed to secure these elusive tickets. She shared that she had won them in a company contest, but this contest had never been mentioned before. With heartfelt thanks, I assured her that this was a contest win that I fully appreciated. Then it was my turn to unveil the gift I had for her. Our love blossomed in that moment, deepening with every exchanged word and affectionate kiss. Our departure from Cancun was bittersweet. We spent our final morning on the beach before heading to the airport for our flight home. As we sat at the gate, Holly dozed off, and I was left alone with my thoughts. This blissful vacation had unearthed questions about the brown box, the peculiar packing slip, and the enigmatic source of those coveted NASCAR tickets. My intuition whispered that something was amiss, but the answers remained elusive. Upon our return, Holly inquired about my quiet demeanor. I assured her that all was well, masking my inner turmoil. But as I sat there, the mysteries of the brown box and the packing slip gnawed at my curiosity, urging me to seek the truth. As the tale of Cancun celebrations faded into memory, the familiar rhythm of life resumed back home. My basketball buddies, sharp as ever, sensed something amiss. During one of our courtside breaks, Nick couldn't help but confront me. "Okay, Bubba, what's going on with you? You just got back from a heavenly Cancun anniversary, and you're supposed to be on top of the world, but you seem like you're stuck in the doldrums. So, come on, spill the beans. What's eating at you?" My response was swift. "Nothing's wrong, Nick. I guess I got used to the leisurely pace of vacation and waking up a tad later." But Nick wasn't having it. "You're in better shape than all of us combined. This isn't your first time on vacation. Something's up, and you're stressed. You're our friend, and we want to know what's been gnawing at you." So, for the next 5 minutes, those guys had me under their relentless scrutiny until I spilled the beans about that infamous box from Trashy Lingerie. And that's when the real adventure began. Those basketball buddies weren't about to let a friend face his quandary alone. They decided to band together, embarking on a mission to unveil the secrets shrouding Holly's recent activities. The group brainstormed and even brought in digital recorders. What was originally a morning exercise turned into a surveillance strategy. We discussed installing a phone line recorder in our home and another in Holly's car. There were even plans to use a nanny cam system, meticulously installing these devices to scrutinize her every move. Holly's schedule had been documented meticulously. From her morning departure to work at 7:50 a.m. to her workout sessions, her daily routine was dissected. However, when it came to tracking her during her work hours, we hit a snag. The group's consensus was that this is where the line had to be drawn. Work was strictly off limits. Those basketball buddies weren't about to let a friend face his quandary alone. They decided to band together, embarking on a mission to unveil the secrets shrouding Holly's recent activities. The group brainstormed and even brought in digital recorders. What was originally a morning exercise turned into a surveillance strategy. We discussed installing a phone line recorder in our home and another in Holly's car. There were even plans to use a nanny cam system, meticulously installing these devices to scrutinize her every move. Holly's schedule had been documented meticulously. From her morning departure to work at 7:50 a.m. to her workout sessions, her daily routine was dissected. However, when it came to tracking her during her work hours, we hit a snag. The group's consensus was that this is where the line had to be drawn. Work was strictly off limits. But just when it seemed we'd reached an impasse, Jason introduced a game-changing idea. My grandfather could help us, he proposed. He's been complaining about having too much time on his hands lately. Let's involve him. His brother Bob also came into the fold, bringing a wealth of experience to our surveillance operation. Friday morning came, and I found not just my basketball buddies, but 2 additional recruits waiting for me. These were our trusted grandparents, ready to embark on this new mission. After introductions, we set to work, crafting a plan to monitor Holly with military precision. I decided to make a pit stop at the house to disconnect all the equipment before heading to the office. I asked Holly to tell Harry I had a personal matter to attend to before our meeting, ensuring her I'd brief him before my first cup of coffee. Her offer to help was kindly declined, as I reckoned it wouldn't take long and saw no point in both of us being late. But call me crazy, I couldn't give up just yet. There were still too many unanswered questions burning in my mind. It didn't feel right to ask the group to continue their vigilant watch without a clear end in sight. After all, they had already dedicated 3 weeks of their time to my cause. It was time to explore other avenues. Upon arriving at home, I immediately got to work. The phone line recorder was my first target, swiftly followed by a cunning move with the VCR nanny cam. I grabbed a book, carefully cut a hole for the camera lens, wrapped it in the jacket, and replaced it on the shelf just as it had been for 2 years. Then came the dilemma of the notebook cam. After some pondering, I settled on relocating it to the garage, hoping to capture more clues about any mysterious deliveries. Last on my agenda was the digital recorder from Holly's car. I discreetly placed it under the couch, a prime vantage point to unveil any secrets. With everything strategically arranged, I finally allowed myself the luxury of a shower. Feeling refreshed, I headed out to my meeting with Harry, with a cloud of questions and uncertainties hovering above. Later, Holly and I met my parents at our beloved Greek restaurant for dinner. The talk revolved around our imminent Bristol trip. Dad inquired about our seats, which prompted Holly to disclose that the tickets were from our CEO, Mr. Johnson. These weren't just any tickets, they were from his personal stash, ensuring they'd be top-notch. My mental list of mysteries was whittling down, at least when it came to the origins of those tickets. Saturday morning brought an unexpected surprise. As I strolled into the kitchen after my morning shower, Holly was already up and cooking breakfast. A rarity in our 3-year marriage, her happiness was infectious, and she shared how content she felt, grateful for our Cancun trip and the anticipation of our Bristol adventure. Feeling the love and joy, I playfully suggested that we skip breakfast and return to bed. But Holly had plans to help her friend Debbie shop for a dress. While I was in the shower, she had arranged breakfast as a surprise. Once Holly was out shopping, I got busy, Cleaning the cars and tending to the garden, Debbie joined me after I finished washing the cars, and we chatted about Holly spending my money while shopping for a dress. She teased me, saying that if Holly bought anything, it had better be a new kitchen faucet. I seized the opportunity to purchase a new faucet, which Holly had shown me previously, and devoured a barbecue sandwich. As I sat down to eat, I drafted a to-do list, starting with the faucet. However, when I attempted to remove the old faucet, I discovered I didn't have the right wrench. I faced a choice: go buy a wrench or borrow one from my dad. In my gut, I knew if I visited my parents today, I'd be held hostage for over an hour. With an MBA project awaiting, I opted to get the wrench when I had more time. After devouring the barbecue sandwich and taking a shower, I retreated to my basement office to work on my MBA project. In the zone, I was completely engrossed in my work until the faint sound of voices reached me through the baby monitor. Seconds later, Holly appeared at the basement door, calling my name. Emerging from my basement office, I couldn't help but notice the time. It was 7 o'clock, and Holly had returned home. With curiosity piqued, I asked her if she had been napping already. She assured me it was quite the opposite and had been engrossed in her work. She promised to join me in a couple of minutes. Shortly, I found myself in the kitchen, flanked by Holly and our friend Debbie. My attention shifted to Debbie as I was eager to see the dress she had bought. Debbie led us to the den, where she revealed the dress she had chosen. I commended her choice, expressing my certainty that everyone at the wedding would share my admiration. In the spirit of jest, I inquired if this shopping spree would mean breakfast would be Holly's responsibility the next morning. She confirmed this with a chuckle, promising to spend the morning together with me. The time spent with Holly was a rare and appreciated luxury. As we crawled into bed that night, she attempted to express her affection, yet our moments together remained chaste. Sunday afternoon, I returned to my basement office after a few hours, taking a break from my MBA project. I considered reviewing the footage from the nanny cameras when I overheard Holly and Debbie upstairs. Eagerly awaiting Holly's signal to inspect her newly acquired shoes, I couldn't help but share a lighthearted remark about how much time women spent shopping. Despite my playful teasing, I was content with our time spent together. On Monday, it was back to my regular routine of basketball with the guys. It felt good to be back on track. Tuesday brought a sudden change in my schedule. My professor canceled class due to a family emergency, and my workday was cut short as John had to attend a meeting with his father, the company owner. I took the opportunity to return home early. This was the first time in a year that I'd managed to leave work early, and I didn't have a class to attend. With the intention of installing a new kitchen faucet to surprise Holly, I changed and hopped on my motorcycle, making a pit stop to borrow a wrench from my dad. Upon searching for the wrench in his workshop, I stumbled upon a box of old family photos. I began sorting through them, selecting a few to make copies of for future reminiscing. As I gazed out the window, I observed Holly and my mother counting money outside, their eyes fixed on RJ's parents' house. My world was turned upside down when I saw RJ and my boss, Harry, walk through the gate. Paralyzed by the shock of this discovery, I struggled to process the gravity of the situation. It was evident that this went beyond the simple affair. It took a moment for my thoughts to clear, and then I began contemplating my next steps. I walked from the workshop to the basement window, hoping to glean more information. What I witnessed was not what I expected. I can't share the details here, but I can tell you that my mother was orchestrating events for monetary gain. I wondered if my father was aware of this. Fearing an unpredictable confrontation, I reached for my cell phone to call my father. However, I was in for another surprise. My dad entered the basement and calmly explained that there was no need to call him. He was already aware of the situation. He apologized for his tardiness and told my mother to join him upstairs. While this revelation swirled in my mind, I decided to take a few photos for documentation. My plan was to follow the course I had set. I pulled out a list of phone numbers and began making calls. Attorneys I had previously spoken to advised me to open new bank accounts in my name, so I initiated a transfer of most of our money into these accounts. Additionally, I reduced our credit card limits to just above the current balances. In my contemplation of divorce, I realized that the grounds for divorce in South Carolina were either a 1-year separation or adultery. If I chose the latter, I would require a witness to testify, which photographic evidence couldn't provide. I looked into divorce attorneys and visited a few to gather advice. They revealed that a witness who had seen Holly committing adultery would be essential, and I contemplated ways to obtain this evidence. In my most audacious move, I contacted a reputable security firm and arranged for backup. This backup was about to arrive. As I glanced outside, I watched my mother and father return. What happened next would change the course of my life forever. That's where my story takes an unexpected turn. Derek and I entered the room, silently observing the scene before us. Holly was the first to break the tense silence, echoing the typical reaction of someone caught in their infidelity. "Oh my God, Bubba, you were never supposed to find out about this. I'm so sorry." In a brief interjection, I informed them I would only stay for a few minutes, allowing them to get back to their fest. The room remained motionless, whether due to the shock of my sudden presence or the intimidating presence of the security guards I had brought with me remained uncertain. Without missing a beat, I turned to Holly and issued a stern ultimatum. "Holly, don't bring your cheating companions back to my house. Your belongings will be in the driveway tomorrow between 7:00 p.m. and 9:00 p.m. Whatever remains at 9:01 p.m. will be stored in the garage until I take it to the city dump on Thursday. From this moment on, you're not welcome in my house. Don't attempt to enter. I'm changing the locks tonight when I get home." Holly's plea followed. "Bubba, please let me come home so I can explain." I couldn't hide my disdain, retorting firmly, "What is there to explain? Let me make it clear. Your kind of love is not what I want." With her voice silenced, I turned to address Holly's father, George. "I'll never respect you or Barbara enough to call you Mom and Dad again. You've lost my respect. You helped my wife become a cheater, allowing her to betray our marriage. How can you look at yourself in the mirror? How can you still look me in the eyes?" But as the chaos continued, her father insisted, "Bubba, you need time to cool off. Why don't we stop by your house tomorrow and talk about this?" I rejected the notion of needing time to cool off, firmly informing them, "You and your wife are not welcome in my home. You can't talk to me or your mother like that. I'm your father. I won't allow it in my home." Even Holly's dad's plea didn't sway me. "You don't deserve my respect. As far as I'm concerned, you both died today." However, my frustration was far from over. I directed my attention to RJ, my once best friend. "So that was your idea for Jason's grandfather to follow Holly?" RJ admitted it wasn't, leading to a startling revelation. It was a network of friends and grandparents who knew about Holly's infidelity. Their knowledge only deepened my disdain. In the midst of their threats and pleas, I set the record straight. "You don't deserve my respect. I'll never set foot in this house again. Don't ever try to contact me. I don't want to see any of you ever again." To Harry, who had a deal in mind, I gave a firm warning. "You won't be in the office on Thursday. Your wife will know about you before the end of the week." Soon after this encounter, they departed. I took the camera as evidence and ensured it would be returned once my attorney had copied the recordings. With Jim, Derek, and Connie as witnesses, Holly and her partners in infidelity left. I changed the locks and went on to make more significant life decisions. This chapter of my life had taken an unexpected twist, and I was ready to move forward with my head held high, embracing the changes that awaited me.